Hi, I'm Jessica from Jessica Wanders, and this is the third week of my freezer pantry challenge that I'm doing. Low spend freezer pantry challenge. Some things came up this week that were kind of crazy. I was away for a little bit, and when we got back, I lost a freezer, and it defrosted. It's pretty sad stuff. I don't know. It kind of threw me for a loop. Actually, it was a wiring thing that got changed. We've been doing all of the house construction. It's been fixed now, but I did lose a lot of things in that freezer, in the big freezer. All my meat. Yeah, anyways, I won't dwell on it. We're not going to dwell on it. We're not going to dwell on it. It is what it is. There was a bit of water still on the bottom, and there was ice in the freezer still, but it was only kind of fridge temperature, and I'm not really sure how long it was like that. So yeah, I'm going to have to go out. I'm going to have to go get some more meat, some more groceries, and not spend too much money. That was after some of these things. So here's my week 3. Took me a while to mentally recover from the freezer loss. Luckily, a lot of the things I've been bringing in from the garden, I've been putting in different freezers. So that was just kind of luck. And I lost a lot of kind of frozen vegetables from last year or from the year before. So there's that luck, I guess, is that. But yeah, all the meat, really, all the meat. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. So that's what happened. Anyway, here's some meals I made. Some meals with what I have in the house. And I still haven't gone grocery shopping. Let's see what I came up with this week. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to see more videos from me, or check out the join button for other ways to support my channel. And I do have a new member shout out to do. Let's see what I made this week. For breakfast this morning, I'm going to try to make some tapioca pudding. I don't have any milk, and I don't have any money for groceries right now. But if you just follow the recipe on the back, I think I'm going to do 1.5 times this serving. This tapioca pudding's not that expensive. So it only takes 3 tablespoons of this minute tapioca to make 6 servings. I'm going to double this recipe, so I'll make 12 servings of this. I've got sugar, a little bit of salt, some vanilla. I've got 2 eggs, sugar, salt, milk, this tapioca. Oh, and vanilla. I thought I could add some raisins to it. Might be kind of nice. I'll give it a try. And then I don't have any milk, but I do have this powdered milk, which is, fine. And I'll use, 6 cups, 1.5 liters. So I'll make 1.5 liters of this powdered milk. I'll maybe try to make it a little bit thicker, but I think it thickens in this tapioca. It doesn't say thick milk or cream or anything, just regular milk. I can use this powdered milk that has been in the cupboard. Don't talk about it. Fine, I'm gonna use it up. It'll be fine. With all this stuff, you won't even notice. It'll be good. Tapioca pudding. It'll be at least 3 breakfasts. What a good excuse to use up this powdered milk. I've got 1.5 cups of powdered milk, 6 cups of water. It's gonna make a lot of tapioca pudding, and that's fine because I have hungry people. 2/3 of a cup of sugar. 1, 2/3. 2 pinches of salt. The stove isn't even on yet, just so you know. Haven't even turned the burner on. 2 eggs. 6 tablespoons or 90 milliliters, or kind of a heaping 1/3 of a cup of this minute tapioca. Like 90 milliliters. 90. This is 1/3 of a cup. This is 80 milliliters. So like that much. It says to whisk it together and then let it sit. Let it stand for 5 minutes. Then we're going to bring it to a full boil over medium heat, whisking constantly approximately 17 minutes. That's what it says. It's not a fast pudding. So I'm just going to do that. Whisking constantly. And then we'll see what it looks like. It took almost exactly 17 minutes to get up to a full rolling boil. And it's quite a bit thicker. And we just take it off the heat and let it sit for 20 minutes, stirring it twice. Smells pretty good. I was worried about that milk, but it smells fine. It looks pretty good. It definitely thickens as it cools. I was gonna put raisins in it, but I think I'll leave it. I can put whatever fruit I want in it, blueberries, or I've got some ground cherry jam in the freezer that I could maybe add to it too. You can have it hot or cold. This will definitely be 6, well, I doubled it, so it should be 12 servings. I don't know. We like our servings a little bit bigger. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So doubling the recipe, I think made 6 servings. Just 1 times the recipe said it made 6 servings, but they would be half this size and not enough for breakfast. So I doubled it, adding about 1/3 cup of blueberries to it. You can add whatever you want. I went with blueberries because it's easy. That's what we're doing. I think it'll be yummy with the blueberries. There we go. 6 breakfasts of tapioca pudding with blueberries from scratch. Bought nothing, using what I have in my pantry. Actually, not very much, just a little over 1/3 cup of tapioca mix, 6 cups of milk that I made with the powdered milk I had in the pantry, and then just some vanilla, sugar, and some blueberries for breakfasts. For breakfast or brunch or lunch, I'm probably gonna call it a breakfast, but it's more like a brunchy lunch or whatever. I found a recipe for some leftover. I've got some leftover stuff from Thanksgiving, and I've got stuffing, some cream corn. I'm gonna use a couple of eggs. I've got some mashed potatoes. I'll grate up some cheese, and then this is actually chicken because I don't have any other turkey leftover. I could use ketchup on top of it. I'm gonna mix it all together and just fry them up in some oil until they're sort of browned. I had so much poultry this week, like a chicken and 2 chickens and a turkey, but we had like other people eating this stuff. So yeah, I've got a lot of poultry to use up. I'm gonna grate it all. I'm gonna grate the cheese, I'm gonna mix it all up in a big bowl, and then I'm gonna scoop them out and fry them up. I'm just gonna put everything in here. So if everything you put in it is good, then the final product has to be good, right? Cream corn. 2 eggs, 2 cups, maybe 1.5 cups of stuffing. This is a lot of mashed potatoes. I'm gonna try first mixing about half of it in. See how it goes. About 1 cup of chopped up chicken. Just grating up some cheese, trying to use it pretty sparingly because cheese is like gold when you're doing a pantry challenge. I don't know how much this is. Maybe it could be 1 cup if it was left pretty fluffy. There's cheese and everything. It's everything patties. Leftover chicken, roast chicken dinner patties. I bet you could somehow cook this as a type of casserole too. Probably be okay, like a potato casserole, chicken potato casserole. Okay. Just adding like 1/4 cup of water just to make it a little more smooth. I think I'm just gonna add the rest of these mashed potatoes. I don't really have any other use for them. So I'm gonna add them, and I'm gonna add some more milk. 1/4 cup more water, I mean. That's more like 1/2 cup. Let's see how much we need. Just want them to be sort of creamy. Mashed potato patties, mostly. It looks like slop, but I think it's gonna be tasty. I'm hopeful that it's gonna be tasty. It's gonna taste like a popcorn chicken bowl in a patty or something. Couple tablespoons of oil. I'm gonna drop these in about 1/2 cup bits, and then I'm gonna flatten them out. They might be too big. We'll see. I don't know how well they're gonna flip over, but we'll see. Sure, like pancakes. Oh no, the first one was so good, and then that one wasn't. I was hoping that I was a better flipper. Look at that one, see? That one's better. They're just kind of falling apart. That's okay. They're like 4 minutes aside. Maybe it wasn't quite enough, but I don't want to burn them. Maybe slower and lower. Slower heat. Lower heat. You know, the first batch is always the worst. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Maybe next time I'll try them just a little bit smaller. It's still a little bit like mushy in the middle. That one anyways. Oh, but I think it's got some crispy bits to it. I think it'll be good. Kind of like a hash kind of thing. I feel like that didn't work really at all. So I think I'm gonna change my strategy and maybe just fry up all this stuff as like a hash, because it didn't hold together really at all. Let's see what happens when I try this. Potatoes and chicken and cheese and eggs and stuffing, just all mixed together. Who cares? Who cares? You guys are probably screaming right now, like, what are you doing? That's okay. Maybe I could flatten it. It'll never flip, so don't even worry about trying to turn it into any kind of frittata thing. That'll never happen. Not in my world. Maybe in someone, look, you could do that. But look, it's okay. I'm just gonna let it cook. Brown on one side and then flip over chunks of it so it gets crispy. It'll be so fine. I don't know, I think this sort of devolved into an interesting thing. Look, it's getting brown though. I mean, now it's just like a hash. I'm just making a breakfast hash is what this is, I guess. Breakfast, mashed potato, chicken, hash? Is that what this would be? I don't know, honestly. Best laid plans. Patties turned to hash. It is getting a little bit brown on the underside. A little bit brown. A little bit brown. It tastes phenomenal. I just gotta tell you, it's got all the right taste in it. So I think it's gonna be fine for a breakfasty brunch. And I'm gonna add these cantaloupes from the garden for this brunchy lunch. They look pretty good. A little bit soft right there, but not too bad. I find cantaloupes the absolute hardest thing to tell if they're ready in the garden. So if you have any kind of like foolproof cantaloupe ripeness tests, I'd love to hear them. Cantaloupe and some kind of chicken dinner, mashed potatoes, stuffing, corn. I mean, they're good. It's good. It's like a hash. Like you would get at a diner. Oh, it reminds me of something. Like a diner hash. Chicken. Yummy. And the crispy bits, just gotta let it cook for quite a while for them to get crispy. Breakfast. There's more. There's more left over, so probably 4 breakfasts, because I've still got another half of 1 cantaloupe left. Yummy. Quite a few people suggested that I make quesadillas out of these smaller tortillas. So I cooked up these black beans. I'm going to refry them with some of my white onions from the garden, loads of garlic, some salt, and some cumin. I think that'll be good. Salt. And I'm gonna fry up the beans, refry the beans that I already cooked. I found some cilantro in the garden, amazingly, because the garden is just about done. I made some new plain yogurt for sour cream. I grated up some of the last cheese that I have so I can make some quesadillas. I think Ruth Gallo was the first person to suggest the quesadillas of any kind. So I'm gonna make these ones. I might try folding them over. Jennifer Waffle suggested making fold over quesadillas, so I might give that a try and see if it works well. I've got garlic as well. Did I mention garlic? I've got so much garlic. So for lunch today, I'm going to do up some black bean and cheese quesadillas. I think Princess O suggested quesadillas, as well as It's Me. I think quesadillas was the general consensus for what I should do with these tortillas. So let's give it a try with the black beans that I also need to use up. Oh, and I had some bacon grease from the $21 a week grocery challenge that I'm going to try to use up as well to add some kind of flavor to the black bean, refried black beans too. Oh, and I almost forgot. I found this thick and chunky salsa in the pantry downstairs, so I'll put some of that on these quesadillas as well. Some of this bacon grease. I'm making a lot of beans. 2 small onions. That's just one. I have 4 very large heads of garlic to go in there. And these black beans. I made up some Mexican blend spices one time, but I find I'm not using them very much, so I'm going to put them all in here. I just use the individual ingredients all the time, so that doesn't really work. Probably had onion powder, garlic powder, that kind of stuff in it. You could also use like a taco or fajita seasoning kit thing. And I'm also going to add about another, say, tablespoon of cumin and about a teaspoon of salt, because there was no salt in that blend that I did up. Then I'm going to smash these. Mash them up. They're so tiny, it's hard to mash them with a potato masher, but we'll get them. 1/4 cup of water helps to sort of mash it up and spread all those spices around. I have 8 of these. I think I'm going to try 2 like quesadillas like this and cooked and flipped. And I'm going to try 4 half quesadillas, assuming the first one goes well. For these, well, slightly bigger quesadillas, I have about a quarter of the filling per quesadilla. Cheese. Then I'm going to make 4 of these sort of half tacos and then fry them like this. Yum. A little bit of oil. Fold over taco number 1. Fold over taco number 2. Ah, that went okay. Look at that. I didn't even make a horrendous mess. I only just made a tiny mess. Don't those look tasty? And they don't need nearly as much time on the other side, or you'll burn them like I usually do, but I checked them. Well, those first couple of ones worked out pretty well. I'm going to do 2 more kind of fold over quesadilla taco things. That one's pretty big. Too big, maybe. Too big. Whoa. Only slightly messy. Whoever suggested, I think it was Jennifer something, the fold over quesadillas understands me, because this was incredibly scary to try to flip, and stuff went out. It wasn't as easy as the fold over ones, but I did it. It didn't explode into a million pieces. I think fold over ones are the way to go though. And then of course the big ones you can just cut in triangles, quarters, and eat them like a regular quesadilla. Quartered large quesadillas fits very nicely in a to-go lunch for Mr. Wonders. So that's kind of cool. For my lunch right now, I'm just gonna add some plain yogurt. Some of this chunky, what is it? It's medium salsa. And then some of the cilantro that I don't especially like, but I don't mind a few little bits on top. Black bean quesadillas with those small tortillas. These are fold over ones. Actually worked out really well. I would definitely do that again. You want me to taste it? I don't know. They should be easy. They should be like tacos, right? Picking them up like tacos, dipping them in this stuff. which I put on very artistically but not very functionally. Dippy, dippy, dippy. That's pretty good. What do you mean? I could always use more cheese, but there's some cheese in there stuck on the other side. Stuck on the other. Maybe you put cheese on both sides and it would stick on both sides. That'd be pretty yummy. Pretty yummy. Thank you guys all for the suggestion. I think Ruth Gello was the first one to make the quesadilla suggestion. I decided to do it with the black beans and some cheese with salsa, homemade plain yogurt type sour cream, cilantro from the garden. Yum. That'll be 4 lunches. Yep. There is a new member, so I do have to do a new member shout out. It's been a few weeks, but hello there, friend, new member. And if you can see, we had some amazing northern lights happen where I live. I guess it's solar maximum or whatever. I took this video and it was so amazing. This is actual video that I took with my phone. And even though that's very, very cool, the pictures that I took with my phone are even better. So I'd like to welcome, hello there, friend, to the channel. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And here are some northern lights pictures from my yard with my phone. So much brighter if you view it through your camera, through your phone. What an amazing experience. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Hello there, friend. For dinner tonight, and then probably lunches using these tortillas that I've thawed out. I like to buy these twin packs of chicken when they go on sale. They can usually go on sale for pretty cheap, and then you just roast them up and use the meat in a variety of ways, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I've got 2 whole fryer chickens. That's the size of the chicken. I like to use onion powder, butter. I usually like to stuff the insides with celery stalks, but I don't have any. So I'm going to use some celery seed and then salt and pepper and throw it in the oven at 350 for about an hour and 15 minutes. We're looking for a temperature reading of over 165 degrees near bones, like in the chicken. It usually takes an hour and 15 minutes as long as your chicken is thawed out. I'm going to use about half of this butter cut up in little cubes. We'll lay it all out and see what it looks like before I put it in the oven. Salt and pepper it all. It's just so easy. Other than thawing the chicken, this is just the easiest way. I love this recipe. I love it. Always turns out nice and juicy and yummy and buttery and goodness. Onion powder all over everything. Probably at least 4 teaspoons, maybe 5 teaspoons of onion powder total. Put it all over the outside, and then I'm going to put some on the inside as well. Maybe 1 tablespoon of butter chopped up inside each chicken, just in there. Another teaspoon or half a teaspoon of onion powder in there as well. And then some celery seed in there. Maybe just like a teaspoon or something in there. Just because I don't have any things of celery. Maybe do that part before you do the outside part. That would work better. And do the same thing to the other one. Big load of butter. Pretty sure the secret to this roasted chicken is just all the butter. So we cover it with more butter. There's butter inside of it. There's butter outside of it. There's butter in the pan. There's just butter. It's just butter. It's like butter chicken, kind of. More butter. Lots of butter. Butter down there. that's going into the oven. I'll probably baste it about halfway through. So I'll set the timer for 45 minutes and then baste it and put it in for another, 45 and 40? 8, I don't know. Make it an hour and 15, but halfway through. What's halfway through? Anyway, halfway through I'll baste it. Oh, there we go. That's good. That's over good. It's over good. Over good. No? There we go. Uh-oh. Does it need 5 more minutes? Oh, it's okay. Okay. Just gonna let that rest for about 5 minutes. Well, I'm gonna let it rest until I carve it up. All right, I have 2 beautiful chickens. I'm gonna do up some gravy, and I microwaved some potatoes for dinner tonight. And then I'm gonna put this one away to use as chicken for other recipes. For dinner tonight, it was pretty easy. I just am hacking up one of the chickens. I did some mashed potatoes in the microwave. I did some gravy, and that's dinner for tonight. And then probably we'll finish this chicken off and some more dinners. Roast chicken. This close to Thanksgiving is hilarious because I have a Thanksgiving that I need to cook for Thanksgiving. This is going to be very similar to a roast chicken dinner, but it's going to have more things. It is Thanksgiving morning, and I am going to give this job to my son to make homemade squash pumpkin pie from scratch. So I'm going to use these Hubbard squashes that I have in the freezer. I've got this evaporated milk, salt, nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger, that's ginger. I've got some deep dish pie shells. I've got 2 of them. I'll post a link in the description below for the recipe that I have given to him to attempt to make homemade pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving from scratch, from stuff I have in the house. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how he does. Happy Thanksgiving. We've got the pies made. Ta-da. My son made the pies. He was so proud of himself. From scratch with Hubbard squash from the garden. I'll leave a link in the description below for the recipe that we actually pretty closely followed. It said it was only going to make 1 pie, but we made 2, even though the package said that they were deep dish pie shells. That happens all the time. It says it's going to make 1. I always make 2. So we've got some beautiful pies. I've got this small turkey that I found in the bottom of the deep freeze. I'll leave a link to the recipe that I'm using for what to spice it with. I'm not going to stuff it. I'm just going to do the stuffing in the microwave because it's so much easier. It's only like a 10-pound turkey. It looks pretty rough. I must have got it on sale or something, but I'm going to cover it with garlic powder, onion powder, some sage that I grew, some basil that I grew, a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, and I'm going to put it in the oven. Should take between 3 and 3.5 hours. Got all the spices on, cover it, drizzle it in some olive oil in the cavity and everywhere, and then I'll be basting it pretty regularly throughout the cook time. Picked just a few carrots for Thanksgiving dinner. These are giant carrots from the garden. I'm gonna just cook up some carrots. Ooh, maybe I'll make some honey ginger carrots. Yum. So many stuffing mixes. Cream corn, carrots, so much stuff I already have. Things got very busy at Thanksgiving family dinner, and I actually don't even have one single picture or video of the finished turkey, but it looked very beautiful. We had also cranberry sauce stuffing mix, cream corn, carrots from the garden, mashed potatoes from the garden. It was a wonderful, wonderful dinner, and I'm really upset that I didn't get a picture of it or video of the finished product. But here's the stuff that I made gravy with. I made gravy too. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Canadian Thanksgiving, and for the people in the United States, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving coming up in November. Happy Turkey Days. We obviously had leftover turkey for quite a few meals in this week, as you do, stuffing and gravy and turkey and mashed potatoes and carrots and all that kind of stuff we had as leftovers for quite a few meals. I did add some more things to this pantry. A couple more things, I think. Some of these, the Singapore chili sauce from 2020, some pickled beets that I need to use up, some Thai hot sauce. I found one more thing of these mushrooms hiding, and then some tomato products, pineapple, cream and mushroom soup, breadcrumbs. I have a lot of breadcrumbs actually. Yeah, some more penne pastas. I do have a lot of pastas actually. I don't want to spend too much money, but I am going to look for some basic ground beef, chicken, and probably another thing of pork loin just to replace some meat in my freezer. Yeah, what a disaster. Okay, we're just not going to think about it too much because it was quite a disaster and pretty upsetting, the whole thing. Moving along, we're going to move along. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine because it's just a freezer and it's just all the meat that you had bought. It's not a big deal. It's so not a big deal. Whew, I'm going to get some more meat and then I'll see you next week. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Click my face to subscribe. I'll leave a link to the entire low spend freezer pantry challenge as it has been thus far. And I'm going to carry on. I'm going to carry on because I actually don't have a ton of money. So it's got to be low spend. I'm thinking no more than $100-ish so that it's about $25 a week is what I'm kind of aiming for in this low spend challenge. So make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified when I drop new videos, and I'll see you guys all next week or next episode.